Hello everyone, welcome to Scream. I'm Viola. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about movies that I've been looking forward to myself recently. And they're pretty diverse. In newly released session, I'm going to talk about Asian movies. And in Top 007 session, I will introduce Taiwanese movie, Malaysian movie, and Hollywood movie. So without further ado, let's listen to the introduction of the first new movie we're going to talk about today. December 12th, The Day. Political drama film based on a true event after the assassination of President Park. The attempted coup leads to a conflict between military leaders.
인간이라는 동물은 아니나 강력한 누군가가 자기를 리드해주기를 바란다니까.
The first new movie we're going to talk about today is a Korean movie. It's adapted from a Korean historical true event. A political coup happened on December 12th. Although the incident happens in modern history, it actually happened long before I was born. It happened in 1979. The reason why I want to watch this movie is that it's created by the same crew of Deliver Us from Evil. They spent 27 billion NT dollars to create this movie. Besides, the movie features A-listed stars, including Hwang Jung-min, Chung Woo-sung, Lee Sung-min. And if you've seen Moving on Disney Plus recently, you will know Kim Sung-woon. Just by looking at the cast, you would look forward to this movie. No kidding. Since the movie itself is about a coup, the interaction between the two leaders would be very interesting. One is the leader of the rebel, who's played by Hwang Jung-min, and the person who's against it is the chief officer of Seoul. The movie's about the 9 hours they fight against each other. Basically, these two groups of people are equally competitive, but still they have to risk their lives to fight against each other. And this is the hottest war, you could call it a war, happens in the capital of Korea. So I assume the whole movie happens in just one night. People love to say that Koreans are very brave to make movies to criticize their government or to criticize their politics. And I would say December 12th, The Day, is similar to that kind of movie. It's kind of like the Korean version of The Spring of Prague. So if you like movies that are based on true stories just like me, you probably would love this movie. And like I mentioned, if you love any of these Korean A-listed actors, you definitely should watch it because whenever they play in a film or a TV series, I would definitely watch it because it's kind of a guarantee, quality guarantee. All in all, if you're interested in Korean movies or you just love to see something that's based on true story, I highly recommend you to watch December 12th, The Day, this weekend. Our second new movie today is a Japanese movie. Let's check out the introduction. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid. It's March, and there's only 1 month left in the third semester. Sakura Azusagawa attended the graduation ceremony of his girlfriend Mai Sakurajima. As he waits for Mai on the shore of Shichiri-Gahama, an elementary school student who looks just like Mai from her childhood days appears in front of him. Uncle, who is it? Is this dream or a vision? Sakura is reminiscing about his mysterious experience when he received a phone call from his father. It's about my mother. She said she wanted to meet Kaede. It was a wish to see her from Kaede's mother, who had been hospitalized for a long time because she could not fully accept what had happened to her. In response to his mother's wishes, he decides to meet her mother with Kaede, but he cannot hide his nervousness at the opportunity to meet her for the first time in a while. An unfamiliar scar appears on Sakura's body. Is this a harbinger of a new adolescent syndrome? The second new movie we're going to talk about is a Japanese anime. Some people may think that this movie is for otaku. I thought the same the first time I heard this name because it talks about adolescent syndrome. So you may think, oh my god, is this a movie about high school boys who dream about having a girlfriend all the time? Well, I wouldn't say you're wrong, but the movie's not only about this. After I watched the prequel of this movie, I went back to finish the whole TV series, and I realized that this series is actually much deeper than I thought. It not only talks about how high school boys would dream of having a girlfriend, it also talks about bully at school, or peer pressure, or anxiety related to school performances. Things like this that could happen at school, especially in Asia in general or in Japan because it's a Japanese anime. So actually, this series is very serious. As we heard in the introduction, the protagonist is going to attend his girlfriend's graduation ceremony. Why is that? Because the protagonist is actually dating his fellow senior. So the protagonist is a junior and his girlfriend is a senior. And that's the reason why she's going to graduate 1 year before the protagonist. And that is also why the protagonist says that he's going to apply to the same college as his girlfriend so that they could continue their school life. As to the elementary school student that looks like Ma'i's childhood days, let me briefly explain that. Basically, this series is related to time travel. It's not really time travel, but whenever there's somebody from the past or from the future comes to visit the protagonist, actually they have some problems for the protagonist to solve for them. Something needs to be changed in the protagonist's era so that what's in the past or in the future could be altered. I can imagine that this episode is going to talk about how the protagonist and his sister, Kaede, meet their mom, whom they haven't met for a long time. That's probably the main topic of this episode. Whether you've watched the other episodes of this series or not, I can guarantee you that you will love the series. Before we move on to Top 007 and talk about more movies that I've been looking forward to, let's review what we had from last week first. Top 3, Wish. Top 2, Abang Adik. And we had 2 top 1s, Napoleon and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. There aren't too many changes to the chart, but there are some new faces. So let's check out top 7 to top 4. Top 6, Trouble Girl.
你到底了不了解他？
你妈妈其实很关心你啊。
表面上说爱你。
Top 5, Godzilla Minus One.
何かでかいのか。
Top 4, Abang Adik.
这巴萨打工老板给多少钱？我想要考一个摩多莱森都不可以呀、
Once again, there are only 3 movies in this part of the chart, so top 3 to top 1 is still very crowded. Since I've already seen Trouble Girl and Abang Adik, you may think that of course I'm going to talk about Godzilla Minus One. But the thing is, there's no plan for it to be published in Taiwan yet. I don't know what the problem is, but actually there's a Godzilla film festival going on in Taiwan. So maybe you will be able to see Godzilla Minus One there. But today I'm just going to go through all these 3 movies and give you a brief understanding of each of them. First of all, top 6, Trouble Girl. This is the movie in which the leading actress won the Best Actress in a Leading Role at Golden Horse Awards as the youngest winner. I would say her performances were really great, but the story itself is a little bit chaotic. Secondly, top 5, Godzilla Minus One. Besides the fact that it's not going to be released in Taiwan, like I mentioned, actually it's pretty popular in the US. It's really surprising, and it's critically acclaimed, so I guess sooner or later it's going to be released in Taiwan. And a lot of people really love this kind of special shooting style for Japanese movies. But if you live in Taiwan, you won't be able to watch it in the near future. Last but not least, Abang Adik. I've already talked about it a few weeks ago. And I have to say, the storyline is much better than Trouble Girl. And the leading actor who won the Best Actor at the Golden Horse Awards. Also, his performances were excellent. Anyway, all these three movies are worth watching. But now, let's move on to top 3 to top 1 and talk about the movie that I've been looking forward to. Top 3, Renaissance, a film by Beyonce.
We just need to simplify.
Wonka,
I'm making chocolate, of course. How do you like it? Dark, white, nutty, absolutely insane.
Many people.
Top 2, Napoleon.
I'm not built like other men.
Top 1, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and
Hunger
Snakes.
Games, they're to punish the districts. Those tributes don't have a choice.
That's right, we have 4 movies from top 3 to top 1 this week. And Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, is going to be released in Taiwan on December 21st. So let's talk about it later. So far, I've talked about Napoleon and the Hunger Games. So today, I'm going to talk about Wonka. Be it the movie version in 1971 or the original book, the European happy vibe filled the story. So director wants to create a wonderful city for this movie as well. The 1971 movie version was played by Johnny Depp. It was filmed in Germany. And actually the director wanted to set the background of this movie in a city of Central Europe. Well, is Germany Central Europe? I thought Germany is kind of Western Europe. But anyway, that's what the director wanted to do. But eventually he decided to shoot in England's studio to create the most magical city for delicacies and chocolate. Also, in order to align with the author's idea, there aren't only rich people in the city. Although the city is very prosperous, there are still poor people. And that's the reason why Wonka is bullied for wanting to open a chocolate shop in the city. Every corner of the city is full of danger. The main character of this movie, Wonka, is a very skillful and strange young man. He always wears this lousy hat and wears tuxedo, but he's the greatest magician, inventor, and chocolate maker in the world. Compared to the Wonka in the original story, the character in the movie is also cynical, but he's also very innocent and he's always excited. Wonka is starred by Timothée Chalamet. He's not only super good at acting, the director also praises his attitude at the studio for being sincere and paying attention to details. Why so? He would not only check his own performances, but he would also check the technical needs from lighting department or cinematography department to adjust his own performances and angles. That's amazing. I think Timothée Chalamet is definitely one of the best actors to cooperate with for the crew. One of my friends really wanted to watch Wonka with sand. Well, what does that mean? The movie theater would spray chocolate sand throughout the movie, but my classmate from grad school said that it's not worth it. So if you want to watch Wonka, I recommend that you watch the regular version. That's good enough. And that's all the time we have for today. Hope you like the movies that I look forward to myself. And don't forget to come back same time next week here at Screen Scream. I'm Viola. See you next week.